There is no heaven. There is no hell. There is only the echo.
Welcome everyone to Play on Tabletop's first gameplay video of Idols of Torment, a dark and sinister miniature skirmish game from fellow Canadian content creator Blackmagic Craft.
Hey, I'm Jeremy from Blackmagic Craft.
I'm JP.
And this is Idols of Torment. It's our love letter to tabletop gaming, the hobby, and horror. We've had a lot of fun developing and playing this game. Our playtesters have had a blast running through it, and now we're excited to put it in the hands of the guys from Play on Tabletop to see how they enjoy it.
Jeremy and JP have created a game where the basic concepts are quite easy to pick up. We've played a couple games now, and it's actually really strategically and tactically deep.
I really want to express how impressed I am with this game. I mean, Blackmagic Craft is sponsoring this video. They did pay us to play it. However, now that we've played it a few times, I am really impressed with just the depth that this game brings to the actual tabletop. It is really fun.
Because I've actually backed it, which goes to show that we really do believe in the game, and it is really a lot of fun, and hoping to play this more than just this one gameplay video. So let's start playing, because I'm sure that's what people want to see.
Probably.
So before we start to play the game, you deploy terrain on the table. Terrain plays a big part in Idols of Torment. You can actually interact with the terrain as well with eternal powers.
You can rotate it, you can remove it, you can bring more in. It's really kind of neat.
After you've placed the terrain on a 2x3 board here, next is to determine how many loss that you're going to be playing within the game. So you roll a d4, and it's this dice roll plus 4, and that determines how many lost. We've already done that before the game, and we are going to be playing with 5 lost in this scenario.
We are, and we alternate by rolling to see who goes first with a d20 to see who gets to place the first loss. So I'm going to be orange today, and I get a 1. Yep, here we go.
First roll, I get a 2.
Okay, so this is going to be a war of who can roll worse, and we all know how that's going to work out. I'm going to win that war.
If you watched our channel, I would beg to differ. Every time I play you, it seems my dice rolls go.
Yeah, this is true. Quad sixes, we remember that. So I'm going to place the first loss. Now there is a limitation on where you can place them. You cannot place them within 9 inches of the board edge, which means the center of the board is going to get kind of jammed up. First one I'm going to place is this really cool white-haired dude. He looks really old. So I'm going to place him here.
The loss represents a way of scoring in the game. What you want to do is you want to reap the loss. And at the end of the game, whoever has reaped the most loss wins the game.
But there's also a way to win by wiping out your opponent's idols, which is his basically his warband. The advantage there is that if you win that, it's called a brutal victory, and it just sounds really cool. So you can win 2 different ways: kill your opponent or take all of the lost souls that are on the table.
It's going to be a pretty chaotic board.
And I think we have to be 3 inches away with each of the lost, right? That works for me. Well, I'm going to place right here. There are basic rules that surround how the lost actually move. They move away from the nearest idol. Typically, if you pull depending on what you draw from the Echo deck, which kind of runs the whole game, tells you what you're going to be able to do with bonuses and movement and such in the round. So they move away from the nearest idol, which is what you put down on the table, or they move towards a totem, which Tack and I both have a totem figure, or they can get stuck in terrain and stop.
I believe the next step is we need to place down our totems.
They denote when you're deploying stuff in this game, in Idols of Torment, there are no table sides. There's no I'm defending this area or I'm defending that area. So you can place your totem anywhere on the table that I believe is outside 6 inches of the lost.
The strategy to Idols of Torment starts in deployment. And what you want to do is you want to place your totems and then next your idols into strategic positions to try to move the lost to your advantage.
But now we come to the fun part. So the difference in Idols of Torment, you might have roll-offs for combat, you might have roll-offs for deployment, but everything else is functioned by drawing tokens.
During deployment, you draw 8 of these initiative tokens to represent the 8 idols that you have appearing on the playing field.
And deploy based on what numbers we draw from highest to lowest. I drew numbers 19, 15, 13, 10, 7, 6, 5, and 2.
And I drew 18, 17, 16, 14, 12, 11, 8, and 4. Now, one of my favorite parts about Idols of Torment so far is the fact that your rosters are set. You get 2 Lurkers, 2 Stalkers, 2 Slayers, and then a Corruptor and a Reaper. And both of us have the exact same unit classes. It's the orders that give you kind of those bonuses. So the Hollow that I'm playing, I get +1 to my Reaping.
That's for Unbound Lost, right?
That's for Unbound Lost, correct. I also have, my Slayers are beacons, so I can do Eternal Powers for my Slayers. And then I do have some other bonuses as well that we'll get into as we play it out.
Now, I'm playing the Strife. All of my models will move 1 inch farther. So whereas stalkers move 9 and everything else moves 6, mine move 10 and everything else moves 7. So it's a bit of an advantage as far as movement goes. My lurkers are better with their shooting because it's the only shooting unit. We both have 2 lurkers. Mine are different than yours.
You get to drop the first one.
So it's gonna be kind of important which one I drop first. I think I wanna actually drive the Lost back towards the middle. So I think I'm going to take one of my lurkers and I'm gonna place my lurker just touching this terrain back here.
So I'm going to be a little bit different than you. I see a big cluster of Lost. I've got a totem that I can draw them towards. So I'm already going to begin by placing my Reaper. One thing that's gonna happen in the next phase of the game is the Lost are going to move. They're gonna move away from the closest idol. So it is really important in this step to think about how you want those idols to move.
So that's your stalker, right?
That's a stalker. Positionally, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to block where you can drop, because you have to drop outside of 3 from him. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to force those Lost to come this way, towards my totem. I'm going to try to make it so that you can't reinforce your own totem. So that is 18, 17, and 16 all dropped.
I got 15, and you've put me in a bit of a conundrum here. A Slayer right back here. I'm gonna come after your stalker.
You're gonna bum rush my stalker?
I'm gonna bum rush your stalker. So maybe I can tie him up. Maybe I can kill him. That's my 15, and my next one is 13.
My next one is 14. So I get to go again. Lurker versus lurker. So that was my 14?
All right, so my 13, I'm gonna put a stalker right behind your lurker. Ooh, and that's one of your Slayers?
That is a Slayer. Then put a stalker.
I'm gonna put my lurker just inside this terrain. So then I have a couple of options here. Away from that Lost, so your Lost is actually gonna move towards me.
Going to place a lurker here, because what I don't want to have happen is I don't want you to come attacking my Reaper immediately.
Yeah, if I'm gonna kill a Reaper or a Corruptor, I need to really focus on it because they're the only models that can take 2 hits. I've got 7, 6, and 5, so it's me 3 in a row. So I'm actually gonna put my Corruptor over here, and then my Mighty Reaper, that's my 7. I don't like being clustered up like this. I kind of want to stretch across the board a little bit. So I think I'm actually going to drop my Stalker back here. And then my 5, this is your Slayer. Let's get some Slayer on Slayer action, shall we?
Your scary models are over there. However, that is a flank that I don't have a lot of models in for control.
True. Interesting. And I still have my Reaper. And the Reaper's the only one that can remain after
That's a really
taking
cool
a
mechanic
Lost.
as well.
Yeah.
Reaping a Lost gains you a point. And there's only 5 Lost on the table, so that's not a lot of points to get. If you use any other model except for the Reaper to reap a Lost, both those models get removed from the table, the Lost and the idol that you used, leaving you with less assets to play with. So it's a risk-reward scenario.
I think I can sneak in and get some Lost out of the middle by putting my Reaper here. I've got my Corruptor here, so the Corruptor can bind, and then I can reap easier. But my Reaper gets a D10 to attempt to reap, so even a 5 up on a D10 is still a 50-50 shot. If I have the extra activations, I can take it.
Crazy looking board already.
It is.
So for the opening, we're going to pull a Echo card. The Echo deck actually determines a lot for the next round. So it's going to determine how many initiative tokens that you're going to get. You get initiative tokens equal to the modifier on the card, as well as the amount of idols that you have on the playing field. Second to that is going to give you a modifier to your eternal powers.
So the Echo deck tells us Lost are gonna move 6 inches, we draw 2 extra tokens, and no bonus to cast Eternal Powers.
I'm not as good as you at this.
Well, it's easy now because you're gonna pull 10 and I'm just gonna dump the bag out. So this is the easy part for me, I just do that. Oh, I got 20. Woo.
17.
I'm gonna get to go last, which is interesting.
You get to go first and last.
I do. Hey, if you ain't first, you're last. Hey, wait a minute, how's that work?
I don't know.
6-inch move for the Lost though. So we start on the side that the Echo deck is, and the closest idol, Slayer.
That's Slayer, yeah. So move directly away.
It's gonna stop right there. Okay. So Lost come to an impassable object, then they stop. And the next one is he's gonna move 6 inches directly away, which is gonna put him right there. The next one is this one, and I think that is the closest, which is gonna put you
in base contact with me.
base contact with your Stalker. Oh, that's not cool. This guy is gonna move from your Stalker, is the closest.
Directly, so unfortunately that means
It's in range with my with the guy who shouldn't be in range with it. Well, that's not so good. This lost is actually equidistant from these two models because somebody deployed it that way. Sneaky. So we actually have to roll off. And the winner of the roll off is going to choose which of the opponent's miniatures it moves away from. If there were more, it would be more. Oh, well, that's a mighty 7. Let's see how this goes.
17.
Oh, so attack wins.
Oh, I did not want to win that one.
No, you actually didn't, because it's going to end up base to base with your stalker.
It is going to end up base to base with my stalker.
We've drawn our tokens, we've moved our lost, and now we go into first turn activation, which is going to be me. Attacks, both stalkers are engaged, but I only have the 20 to activate, and my best chance to get rid of this stalker so that I can take that lost is to actually engage it. So my Slayer is going to move up. So every idol gets to move and then do an action. In this case, my Slayer is going to move into engagement range with your stalker, and now I can take an action. So my Slayer has +3 to my attack roll, and I roll a d20 +3. I get a 7, which gives me a total of 10.
A stalker has a defense of 3, so I'm going to roll a d20 and then add that to the roll.
That's a d12. And you still beat me, just so you're aware.
Anyway,
Jeez, keep it in the box, Tack.
it's really hard to do.
I know, because that bounces, doesn't it?
Ooh, I rolled a 14,
+3.
so that's a 17.
Anytime a defense roll is 5 more higher than the attack roll, you get a backlash, which is basically, I sucked so bad at punching you, you're gonna punch me back. So you get to actually roll an attack. Now, a backlash can't cause another backlash, so there's no unending sequence here.
I'm hitting you with a lowly stalker,
Yes.
so I only get a +1. But I rolled a 16, so I'm got at 17.
Yeah, well, you're hitting my Slayer, who's not really designed for defense, but I do have a +2, which I roll a 1. Awesome. So that means you get to damage me now. So your damage roll on a stalker is a d6, and my corruption is also my defense is a d4. So if you roll a 5 or 6, you're actually gonna kill my Slayer.
I rolled a 5. Wow. And just like that, now this is a brutal game. Things are meant to die pretty quick. Lost are meant to disappear really quick. But you're gonna see how tactically deep this game is as we start to play with less assets.
Losing my Slayer kind of sucks, but it's not, I mean, it happens. So I'm just gonna put him on the board so that he can learn from his mistakes and watch everybody else keep playing. My next is 18, so you have the 19.
I'm feeling a lot safer with that. I typically don't like to lose my stalkers right out the gate because they are actually really good at blocking movement and doing other things. However, I've got a beautiful opportunity right here.
You do.
Being able to take that loss and gain an advantage in the game. You've already lost one of your attacking models.
I have.
So I think that's what I'm going to try to do.
Stalker's corruption die is a d6. That's also what you use for your defense, and it's what you use to reap souls. Because you get +1 to the unbound lost, on a 4-up, you're actually gonna take that and the stalker off the board.
So this is, again, high risk, high reward, but let's see what happens. That is a 5.
There it
so I gain that lost for a point. Unfortunately, I do lose my stalker. Again, there are only 5 lost in the game right now. So that is 1 of 5 in terms of victory points.
You've already reaped a lost. I can try to reap a lost, but it's way harder for me to do it. I can try to bind this one so you can't do that again. So I am going to attempt to bind this lost here that is next to your stalker with my corruptor. My corruptor has a corruption dice of d8, and to bind a lost, it's gonna cost me a 4-up. Trying to bind the lost, a 7. There we go.
Okay.
So that lost is now bound to me. So my corruptor can now move because I can do a binding and then still move afterwards.
So that lost is lost to me.
It is, yes.
I think I'm going to try to unbind that
Interesting.
because that will still give me an opportunity with that stalker to be able to try later in this round to reap it. This is my corruptor, which puts me within 9 of that lost. So I'm going to attempt to try to unbind it. I need a 6 or better, so chances are a little low. I rolled a 1. Okay, so that's not happening. Well, that is 17 right there.
So I have 16. I didn't like that you ran away.
I'm okay that I ran away.
This is one of your lurkers, right?
That is a lurker, yeah.
Hi, Mr. Stalker. All the way around you to here. I'm gonna attack you with my stalker. I'm +1, and I get a 15 total.
Uh-oh.
The potentiality of a backlash here is low.
I got a 17.
So I don't hurt you, but you don't backlash.
No, because it's not a +5. I am going to take my Slayer, move block you as well.
Interesting.
So it's going to go there, engaging both. Slayer, going into your lurker.
Into my lurker. Okay.
So I'm going to roll a d20, and I'm going to roll a 15.
Oh man, so that's +3, right?
That is +3.
That's an 18. And my lurker has a defense of 1. Oh boy, I need a big roll. 14 total.
So that is a successful hit.
It is.
Slayer has a d10, which is this one?
That one, yes. So here's the thing. My lurker has a D4 defense.
A d4 defense.
The D10 versus D6 was brutal. All right, so he's just dead. That was my Slayer, I'm sorry. My confusion, that was actually my Slayer. Defense roll is the same as the lurker, D4. Ouch, that hurts a little.
This is where Slayers are really cool in that they can Fury, so they can actually attack again. Use my 14, and I'm going to now, this is risky though.
It is, because my Stalker gets +3 on defense.
And
If you fail to hit me, if I defend at all, I get to backlash you.
here we go.
You roll the 1. Oh, no. To my 14.
Oh no.
That's a backlash. Strife Stalkers always get to backlash on any failed attack.
Okay.
I get a 19 plus 1 is 20.
I need an 18 in order to tie you. I actually still get out of this alive. That is not an 18.
That is not an 18, that's a 4. My Stalker has a damage die of D6. Your defense is D4, 5 or 6, and you can't roll. I get a 5.
Oh no. That's brutal. All right, so I have lost my Slayer.
I'm gonna attempt with my 13 to Echo Form. I'm gonna drop a piece of terrain because I don't like where he is, and if I can isolate him, I'll be very happy. Anywhere within 9 inches of these models. Okay. So, but I need to cast it first. Because it's me, not one of the models rolling, I need to roll a d12. And the Echo deck gave us +0, so I get a 50-50 chance to drop a piece of terrain here. On a 6-up, I drop the terrain. Okay. And I get a 3.
With internal powers, they can only be used once per round. So if you had cast it, I would not be able to cast it. Since you did not cast it,
it's still available. But I have a 12, and I really think it's an important thing to do. Okay. So I'm gonna spend my 12 to try to cast exactly the same power. Here we go. And I succeed. So I get to drop a piece of terrain anywhere within 9 of these guys, and I think dropping it right there, because then you have to move through the terrain to get any closer to me.
which halves my movement.
Which halves your movement. I have a bound loss. I have a Reaper back here. I can move him up. I'm gonna try to steal that loss so that we can get this game to an even state. Now to reap it, I have to be in engagement with it. I'm not engaged with you, but I am with the loss that is bound to me. My Reaper has a D10 chance to reap this, and because it's bound to me, I need to get a 4 or better. Back to the eternal power. I get a 3.
Oh, wow.
So I don't. I really thought I would get that.
Which gives me a chance. I've got 10, 9, 8, 7.
So you got 4 in a row. Oh boy, howdy.
I do not like the position of this Stalker right now. It's really close to this soul.
You're gonna reshape it and hide me in the corner of the map, aren't you?
So reshape allows me to rotate a piece of terrain 90 degrees. I need to roll a d12, and on an 8, that goes off. So that is a 5. It's not gonna go off. Reshape didn't work, but now I'm gonna try collapse. I'm gonna need to roll a d12, and on an 8, it goes off. If it does go off, I'm able to attack your Stalker. I rolled a 6. That was on the wrong side.
You're in a bit of a tough place, aren't you?
I am in a tough place. I think one of the best units I have to attack a Stalker is a Lurker,
Because you shoot him.
which isn't going to trigger a backlash. I've moved my Lurker over to that position there to shriek at your Stalker. So I'm gonna roll a 1.
Ooh, another 1.
Oh, wow.
A defense on my Stalker of 3, but I'm obscured because I'm in terrain, so I get +4 to this. Which means I get a 15.
You mean you beat my 1?
I beat your 1.
So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my 7 and come after your Lurker, which is my only threat on this side of the board currently. So that's a 12 plus my 3, so that is a 15.
All right, and my Lurker has a 1 for defense, so 18. I'm gonna attack back. It's not ideal. Lurkers aren't bad at combat. It's not a ranged attack though, it's a melee attack, so I'm not gonna get that +1 to damage you. I get a 19 though, +2 is 21.
Uh-oh.
Lurker claps back.
17
Ah!
to your 21.
Go Lurker. So my Lurker is a D8.
Yep.
And I get a 4. Oh, on a 4 you could defend it. There you go.
That is a 4.
Ah!
Defended. Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Woo. Activating my Reaper. Going to move into engagement range with that Lost. Now, the special ability with the Reaper is they don't dematerialize if this is successful.
That's correct.
So that Reaper gets to stay on the board.
Yeah, it's called the remain ability. So on a 4 or better, you're gonna take a 2-to-1 advantage here.
That is a 6. So that is a successful reaping of a Lost. That gains me another victory point.
It does, yes. I'm actually going to take a run at your lurker here. So I can go 10 with my stalker. I'm gonna come all the way around behind you. Stalker gets a +1 to attack. I get a 17.
I rolled an 11. Okay, that's a success for you.
12 it is.
Roll out for me, please.
I get a 4. Oh, again, you can defend it.
Do it again for me, please.
2.
Go.
No joy.
This is a bloody one.
This is really rough, yeah.
I mean, do idols bleed?
I don't know. Do idols bleed?
Ugh.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's,
You got a 3, and then I got a 2 and a 1.
I have some real issues, and that's just in my way.
It is.
But apparently, I also have the ability to potentially knock you back
That's true.
and take you out of the game.
Take the lurker out just by knocking him off the board.
However, I'm going to hedge my bets here that the next Echo card is going to be kind to me and give me plus to the Eternal Powers. So there's a better chance of pulling it off. Second, I'm going to hedge my bets and hope that I draw well from the initiative deck and I'm able to do that next round. Because right now, I think the bigger issue might be that I'm trapped. I'm going to try Echo Fade. So that's an Eternal Power. That is going to be my last
Your last activation. This turn.
activation. 50-50 roll.
There it is. 2. It stays.
If anything, that shows the power of the Echo deck. You really want those modifiers because it's been really hard this turn for either one of us
It has.
to pull off any of these spells.
I am going to shoot your lurker. Even though you're in combat, I'm going to shoot you. So that's going to be my 2 activations.
Lurker versus Lurker.
Here we go. 10. Oh.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah. A roll's a 2. So the lurker gets D8, and then yours is a -1, but I get an 8.
Okay.
So there's no way to defend it. I think I'm gonna Cosmic Blast you. So first thing I gotta do is manifest it on an 8 or better.
Right.
So it's a 33% chance,
I mean, you could.
and I don't. So I failed to manifest Cosmic Blast, which would have been great, because then I could have killed your Stalker, and I could be way ahead on model count.
Well, it seems like I'm up on the board because I've got 2 lost to his 0. Remember, a winning condition is that if you table your opponent, you also win the game.
Exactly.
So I kind of see how you're playing it. I'm trying to play it a certain way, you're trying to play it a certain way, but that is all the activations for this round. We go on to the next.
On to opening for turn 2. What do we get now? Totem, 0 extra tokens, but +3 to cast. Oh, I sense some Eternal Powers occurring. I have 6 models.
I only have 4, so this is real desperate times for me. I have 15, 13, 11, and 10. So the last thing to do is to move the Lost. We start with a bound Lost,
3 inches,
but he can't.
but he can't because he's right next to my Reaper.
Moving towards the closest totem, because we pulled a totem Echo card. However, it's going to basically stop at your idol. The next one is this one. Unfortunately, comes towards my totem, however, stops at your
At my Stalker. Oh, so I have a chance to steal all 3 lost this turn? I'm gonna risk the lurker, so I'm actually going to move my Stalker, and then I'm actually gonna attack you. My Stalker only has +1 to attack, but I get a 19.
I rolled a 12. So I'm rolling a D8 because
D8.
that's my defense. So they're pretty beefy. I only get a 2 though.
But you have 2 wounds.
So I have now only 1 wound remaining.
And I'm not going until step 9, so this is literally all on you now. This is the neat part about this game, is because you're drawing from the same token bin, there's always gonna be some semblance of alternate activations. Right. However, you can get these runs like this where I went first, but the rest of my actions are all after tax finished. So he's gotta be really careful about what he does here, and think about, as silly as it might sound to some people, think about spite casting certain things. You know, Echo Form, Echo Fade, Echo Shape, all of these, Cosmic Blast, Cataclysm, Collapse. There's all these Eternal Powers that if they're successfully cast, I will not be able to cast them later in the round.
All right, so I'm gonna try to cast Shockwave. So I have a 4-part program. Part 1 is to try to do Shockwave to knock your Stalker back.
That's sneaky, but I like it.
That is a 9.
12. Backwards.
Step 1, complete. Step 2, we'll move 3. So I think what I have to do is I'm going to try to unbind and allow my stalker to take that lost. Part 2 of the plan is...
A 7.
Oh.
There it is. No longer bound to me, so I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Bound to you.
Yeah. Whew, all right, so that was
Part 2 of the
part 2 of the plan. So moving on to part 3 of the plan, I am going to now try to take that loss that's now bound to me.
I don't want to bless him, but I'm gonna, okay, a big mojo on the dice. Hamana, hamana, there you go. Now it's gonna roll a 6, watch this.
On a 4, 5, or 6, I take that lost.
It's 5.
A 5.
Let's give you my mojo. What am I thinking?
I don't know, I appreciate it though.
That was step 3.
That's step 3, so my 11 is gone. I still have 10.
And then it's all me. Made it really easy. I don't even need to worry about lost anymore. I'm gonna probably bind them to try to keep you from getting them. But other than that, I need to just kill your models.
My last part of my 4-step program is to recall my corruptor so that I can get them out of dodge. And right now, because we've got the +3 on eternal powers, there's a higher chance that this could go off.
There is.
That allows me to take this model here.
Because he's within 15 of your totem and put him within an ant shaft. So now it's all me. Now I have a 5-part program. The lost don't matter to me anymore. I need to kill your stuff. The first thing I'm gonna do with my 9-step is activate my corruptor. And I'm going to attempt to bind that lost. Here we go. I get an 8.
Sure.
So my corruptor activates and I bind this lost to me. I'm actually gonna move my corruptor over here.
Sure.
Moving back a little bit to pull that lost that way. Now I've got my Reaper still. I don't want to reap lost. He is super defendo. So I think what I'm gonna actually attempt to do, I'm gonna try Cataclysm this turn. So I'm not close enough to cast it with him, but I'll move him. And then I pick a point within 9, over here, I think. So it's within 3, so I'm gonna hit both of these models. Cast on a 9, and then it will do D8 damage. Eternal power! Oh, that is cocked. I don't know how I managed that in the tray, but that's a 6, that's not enough. But I wanna try to cast that again, because it's important.
Okay.
So here we go. An 8, that is not enough. That is not enough, even with the pluses. I need a 9.
I'm staying in the game because I only have 3 models left, JT.
Do I try to cast it again, or do I try to take out your Slayer? Stopping you from getting killing my Stalker is gonna be big. So I think, does that put me within an inch of both of you guys?
Probably,
I'm
yeah.
gonna try to attack you. I roll 14.
My death needs to come back at some point in this game, right? Nope.
Nope. I get a 2.
If I roll a 1, he's dead.
Whew, jeez, good thing you didn't have to roll a 1.
And that's everybody?
And that's it, that's everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, super
Okay.
quick. So Echo Deck tells us 6-inch lost move with 1 extra token draw and +2 to cast. Draw my tokens. I have 6 models left, +1.
I have 4 initiative tokens. Ooh, every move is going to count.
Cool, I got 18 and 19 here.
Oh, that's not good for me.
I got 17, 18, 19.
That's really not good for me.
And then 13, and then 6, 4, 3. Bound lost move, 6 towards idol that bound them. In this case, this guy here. So my little bound losty moves towards the guy who bound him. And then that one is gonna move 6 inches directly away from the closest, which,
Right off the board.
oh man.
So that idol is coming off of the board. Not a point to anybody. However, that actually is better for me.
It is.
I have 1 loss left to win the game.
So now Tack just has to take the 1 lost that is bound to me to win the game, and I need to kill his stuff. Corruptor rather is gonna move up, and I'm going to attempt to attack your Slayer. I get a 17.
Wow, you've been rolling hot.
I've been rolling hot.
Live! Nope.
It bodes poorly for the D&D group that I'm running tonight that I keep rolling 18s and 19s on the D20. They're not gonna be happy about this.
And I'm struggling to get out of single digits.
I need to roll high and you roll low here to kill your Slayer. I get a 4.
All right, we'll see what happens. If I roll 4 here, I live. I would like to live.
You
I do live.
Well, that means I don't have a choice now. I'm gonna spend my 18 to cast Shockwave. That takes it away from you knocking my Stalker out of combat, so I'm gonna move you back. Here we go. So 4 + 2, 7? Oh, I fail.
What you're trying to do here is simply take Shockwave away from me.
I am, yeah, because it's important that my Stalker keeps you locked up. I'm gonna try to cast it again. Here we go. Oh, I get a 1.
So you've been trying to take Shockwave away from me.
I have.
I really need that loss.
You do.
So this is the most important thing to me right here. Right, so I'm going to use 16 and I'm going to try to do Cosmic Blast. The creepy hand, the creepy hand's coming out
Creepy
there.
hand up the top of your totem is blasting. Cosmic Blast manifests on 8. Yeah.
Okay, so I need a 6 on a d12. So 50-50 shot. I can roll well for once. Nope, that's a 1.
My 13, I think, to attack with my Stalker. I'm just gonna attack the Corruptor with 1 wound left. Yes. I get a 15.
Could you roll less than double digits?
No, I can't. But you can. And I can't move anywhere because I would be leaving and risking backlash, and I'm not gonna do that. And then it's over to your activation.
Okay, I think I know what I need to do. All right, so I'm going to attempt to do Shockwave.
Because your Slayer is a beacon, and you can Shockwave me out.
Yep. That is a 5. It barely goes off.
So everybody moves 3 inches directly backwards, which I think kills my Lurker.
That is 1 dead.
Lurker are hardly newer.
Okay, and hits the...
Hits the wall. Okay, so I'm gonna do something completely crazy, and I'm gonna try to cast Cataclysm on my Stalker's head. Because if I cast Cataclysm and succeed, I could do a damage to here, I could do a damage there and kill him, and then that keeps this lost really safe, but I have to manifest it first. And I don't.
I'm going to do Cosmic Blast, and the reason why I'm going to do it is because it gives me a better chance at damaging, as well as it won't trigger your backlash. See what happens? Do I pull it off? I do pull it off, that's a 10.
Does manifest.
Rolling off as if it was an attack.
Cosmic power, so you're plus 4 to your d20 roll.
All right, so here's a d20. Please give me higher than double digits for the first time in a long time. Nope,
So that's a 12,
that's 12.
and I get a critical defense, which does nothing.
So luckily, does not trigger backlash regardless. Unfortunately though, that was my 5.
I'm gonna try to bomb you again. I'm gonna Cataclysm again. Basically kill you before time runs out, because the game is gonna end. At the end of turn 4, we're gonna roll, and then turn 5, we're gonna roll again, and it's all lower number, and then turn 6, it's over. An 11, it goes off.
Oh no.
So now I make an attack against everybody.
You are chaos embodied.
I am, I'm going for it. So let's start on the guy that you have with 2 wounds. So 16 plus 4 is 20.
You can afford to lose a wound. So that is a 7.
The power does D8, so it's 4.
That's a 2. I take a wound.
All right, I'm good with that, I'm good. Now I gotta roll on my Stalker.
Are you rolling the both?
Oh, I just critically wounded my Stalker. So with a 3, and then I defended on a D6. I do, I get a 6. Okay, so now if I can do the 20 to you.
Please don't.
It's a 20 total. Because you're obscured, right?
Nope, that is a 6.
Okay, here we go. It's D8 versus D8. I get a 6.
Feel better rolling single digits on a single digit dice. That's a
6.
6. Ties go to the defender, so still alive.
So I'm gonna move my Stalker on my last activation, and then I'm gonna dash him. It gets me over to here. So I'm just gonna move to about here, and then that's my last activation.
I'm gonna go after your Corruptor. Yes, 2 wounds, but I'm thinking next turn, if I can knock out your Corruptor next turn, that unbinds your loss.
It does.
That is a 9.
I get a 17. That's it for activations, isn't it? Heading to turn 4, and I don't know how I feel about this, because at the end of the turn, we roll, I believe it's a D8, and a 5 up, the game ends. Game can potentially end this turn. There's only 1 loss left on the board. 6 inch, 2 and 3, so 2 extra tokens, which is great for you, because you're low on models. 20, 19, 17, 15, 12.
I just need to survive.
We're at plus 3 to cast, so you know my favorite power is really coming into play now.
Because I've only got 1 wound left on everyone.
And if I kill everything, then I'm laughing. Man, I'm so tempted to do that right now. In fact, I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna attempt Cataclysm yet again. So I need to cast this on a Cataclysm's a 9, so I gotta roll a 6 on the D12. Whoa, 10. There we go, 7 plus 3 is 10.
The Reaper?
The Reaper with a 21.
7.
Here we go, D8, 5. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, that's not good.
Would you like to roll to kill my Stalker?
8.
Plus 4 is 12.
12.
All right. But 12 plus 3 plus 1 for engaged is 16. But I hit you with an 18. Yeah, I am rolling way better than you, man.
Oh, finally! My Corruptor stays alive.
Corruptor stays alive.
I've got more loss than you, You don't have a single loss. I just need to survive.
Running my Stalker
Oh,
for
no.
my next activation
Okay.
into your Reaper. All right, Stalker. 19 plus 1 is a 20. Oh man, I'm so glad I'm not playing D&D right now. We're talking total party kill. Like, I'm rolling like crazy.
My 1 wound Stalker will survive, maybe.
Slayer.
Slayer.
Oh
Hey.
no, he did. He gonna die. Stalker's a D6, but I get a 2.
All right. That's a 3.
So
Okay,
you
I
defend.
survive.
All right. Whew. But I've got my Stalker at the end of the board. I'm gonna try to kill your dude at the back of the board with my Stalker.
Oh, with the Stalker.
Yeah.
The name of the game for you is killing.
It is. I get, oh boy. That's not good. I get a 4.
Did you roll single digits?
I
for the
rolled
first
finally rolled single digit attack, so
10. Okay.
backlash.
No.
No, corruptors get plus 1 to attack.
Oh, so 11 equals 12.
Defense is plus 3, so I get 17.
Yep.
But that was my 17 activation.
I'm simply going to move like so,
Yeah. And you're gonna try to knock me off the board.
and I'm going to try to knock you off the board. I'm not going to attack you, because attacking you potentially gets me a backlash.
Yes. I'm gonna spend my 15 to cast Shockwave from my totem on nothing, because I can do that. Cast with a 12. So
Okay, but all you're doing is taking that power
taking
away
that
from me.
Shockwave away from you, so now you can't knock me off the board.
With 14, I'm going to activate my Slayer.
Yeah.
So Slayer gets a 11.
Okay, so I roll a 14 though, which is what you got.
So it's a tie, so it goes to Defender.
Let's activate my Corruptor and see if I can't kill your Slayer. I get a 14,
We'll see what happens. I need to roll a 12. I do not. I roll a 3.
but I only wound you with D4 damage dice.
Okay.
With this a 1, so there's no way that you're gonna die.
We've got a +3 to the cast, so I'm going to try an Internal Power, Cosmic Blast. My Slayer is a beacon because I'm the Hollow.
You're going off the Slayer, interesting. And it fails.
I'm going to try to Cosmic Blast from my Slayer into your Corruptor again. I need a 5 on a 12.
It goes off, it's a 10.
I get a +4 to my D20, and I get a 11, so I've got a 15 total.
So I get an 8. So there's no way for me not to defend this because I have a D8. Yeah.
That's a 1.
So I think I'm going to attempt to cast Morph. It needs a 7, so I need to roll a 4. I don't, I roll a 1. I don't cast it at my 7 step to swap out my Reaper with my Corruptor. I think that I'm going to try that again, just to swap out of combat. So here we go, with a D12, needing a 4. It fails. 6. Oh.
I'm just going to Fury with my Slayer. So I've tried all day. That is a 19 plus 3, so that is a 22.
22. I don't think I can beat it. No, I get a 3.
Please don't roll a 1. A 4.
4 up. I get an 8. Successfully defends against your...
That's okay. I'm still technically winning.
You are technically winning. So on a 3 up, it continues, and I can try to kill you for 1 more turn.
Do I roll because I roll low? Or do you roll because you've been rolling high?
You know what? I think it's such a close game. You go ahead and roll. I believe that you're gonna roll a 7.
And that is a 4.
Yes!
Much better.
Scared the crap out of me there for a minute. Echo Deck says 9-inch, 3 extra tokens, and +1 to cast.
14, 9, 7, 4, and 3. So you're telling me that I have a bit of a chance?
I'm gonna cast Shockwave.
Okay.
So I'm actually gonna attempt Shockwave. Goes off on a 6. It does not. All right, so that's my 19. I'm gonna use my 18 to activate my Stalker.
Okay.
I'm gonna move around your orbit, the other side of you. So the Stalker is +1 to his attack. I get a 13. 17. I'm gonna move up to engagement here as well. But I get +1 because I am,
It's 11.
it's a 12.
That is a 19.
Oh, so a backlash on my Reaper.
I got a I might need 2.
A mighty 2. Yeah, I got a 6. So now it's your 14, then it's my 13, 12.
So I'm searching for a 8
8 or higher on a D12.
on a D12 in order to do Cosmic Blast onto this point here to hit into 2 of your idols. That's a 7. I'm off by 1.
Off by 1. I need to kill your Slayer. More models engaged with this one, +2. I get a 12.
I can beat that.
Oh, Shaggy.
Yep, I do. 19 plus.
Backlash.
I can do something. That is an 8.
And I get way more. I'm gonna try to actually Cosmic Boost your Slayer. Nope, I fail with a 1.
I'm going to attack and then fury. Number 9.
Yeah.
That is my Slayer is going into your Corruptor.
Into my Corruptor.
I rolled a 16 plus 3 is 19.
Ruh-roh, Shaggy. I don't get that much. Oh, if you roll a 9, sorry.
Oh, come on.
You roll a 2?
I did roll a 2.
All right. I roll a d8. I got a 1! So he's taking a wound.
Okay.
And your special action is Fury, so you can actually fight twice.
We'll try that again. So let's see if I can pull this off. I have no idea what that is.
11 plus 3 is 14.
Okay.
And I roll a 2. Oh no!
So you're telling me that this could happen?
Could. A 9 or 10, I can't even defend this.
That is a 6.
I roll a 5. And my Corruptor is dead. Which means this Lost is no longer bound.
Dice tell stories.
Dice tell stories. So I'm going to try to Cosmic Blast from my Reaper into your Corruptor. I need to roll well. And I roll a total of, was plus 1, so 7. Oh, by 1! This guy's doing nothing out here, but he doesn't really matter.
Try again.
I need to. Big roll, here we go. Yeah, it's an 11. So I roll to hit you.
Plus 4.
22. But at least your defense is really high, like your corruption is a d8, right?
It is, yes.
So, but I roll a 4. 1, 2, 3, and you die.
It's a 1. It's a 1. I'm down to 1 model left.
Down to 1 model left. But if the game ends now, you win. If the game goes another turn, I have to kill your Slayer or I lose.
We'll play on dice says 3 and 3. Okay. Let's see if I can take out both stalkers. But first, I need to roll a 8 because I need a 9. That is an 8.
Oh, no.
Just barely. We'll do the stalker that matters first. So attack roll.
Oh, it's only a 4. I should be able to defend against this.
You should be able to.
Yes, I do.
Stalker 2. 15.
6 plus, no, not enough. 7 or 8, and the Stalker cannot defend it.
That is a 7.
That's it. Kills Mike Stalker.
All right, that's 1 less model to deal with. Echo form.
You're gonna put a piece of terrain in the middle.
Just to block line of sight. And it casts. So I'm going to take this piece of terrain and put it here.
On a 5 up to play another round. Otherwise, you win the game. It's a 7!
6, 3, 1.
All right, so
Single model that needs to survive.
at this point, I just need to
Kill that model to win.
fight. So I'll start with a Stalker fighting it. I mean, that just makes perfect sense. Here we go. Oh, a 7. So that's an 8.
Oh, decent.
Ah, not that well.
Did I roll a 1 on the
Roll a 1. D6. 2.
4?
There's nothing else for him to do. And then I go to my 13, because your next is 11.
Yep.
And I'm gonna try to Cosmic Blast you. All right, here we go, +1 to cast. I get a 7, +1 is 8. It goes off. D20 +4, I get an 8. Defense is +3.
5, 8.
You tie me, are you kidding me?
I need to go big. Do I get lucky here?
You're gonna Cataclysm them off the board?
That's a 5. So nope, Cataclysm is not taken out of the game. You still get to cast it.
So on my 9. Ah, fails. So I have next 7.
You do, you can try it again.
Come on, do it! Yes, it goes off.
Oh no.
So basically, it's gonna hit my Stalker. I'm okay with it though. D20 +4. 7.
Late game heroics from that Slayer.
That one Slayer is gonna win you the game.
Yes.
Oh!
Let's see if we can get your Stalker out of my way. That is a 10 +4, 14.
10. Nope. Oh no!
3, you can defend
I
it.
can defend it, and I do with a 5. All right. The smart play here is absolutely disengage and run away. It's okay. The entire internet will think you're a coward. Don't worry about it.
Because JT said that I sound like a coward if I if I just disengage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shockwave, and I'm going to try to kill your Reaper out of spite. Okay? I can do that.
Oh, 10 will do.
Yep.
10 will do.
Directly away, so you're going to just hit there. Revenge and spite is still hot on the menu, but you know what? This is a fun play, right?
It is a great play.
That's only a 7 +3 is a 10.
All right. And I get an 8 plus 1, 9.
So I beat you by 1.
You beat me by 1.
Yep. But I did get a 6. Kindly.
7. Woof.
One more shot into your Reaper.
Into my Reaper.
That's a 1.
That's a 1.
Uh-oh.
And I got an 8. That's not enough for a backlash. So I'm gonna attack you with my Lurker. This is it. For all the marbles, if I kill your Slayer, my last activation on the 2-step on the final turn, +2, 18.
That's 11.
11, not enough.
14.
I get a 6, it's a 5. Or 6. You can't roll higher than a 4.
And you win the game.
This is the last activation of the last turn. This game is so much fun.
Good game.
Good, great game. I think the guys at Black Magic Craft really have a winner here, man.
I think one of my favorite parts is we have the same roster. As soon as you learn what a Stalker does, that's the same for both sides.
Yeah.
This could have been a board game. Because of how easy it is to learn the rules, because of the set rosters, it's very different from tabletop skirmish games in that regard.
It really straddles that line between a tabletop skirmish game, miniatures game, and a board game.
It takes the best parts of both, right?
It does, yeah.
It has the set rosters, kind of the easy to learn how to play that you expect out of a board game. It has the terrain building, it has the miniature painting that you expect out of a tabletop game. So really, like you said, it kind of straddles the line. I think it's a good entry point for a board gamer to want to play a tabletop game. And it's actually a really good tabletop game if you want to challenge a tabletop veteran.
It's a very simple system to play, but deep, like super deep. The tactical gameplay, I mean, there was a couple of moments where we literally had to stare at the board and what the hell can I do now?
While the dice weren't that hot for me, remember, it was my call at the end of the game whether I win or lose the game. Right? I could have walked away and won. So despite really bad dice rolls, good decision making, game balance made it so that I could actually have a chance of winning. So then on that note, we hope you enjoyed this playthrough of Idols of Torment. It is currently in Pledge Manager status. Kickstarter is over. They did successfully fund the campaign. I think there is still a chance right now for you to pick up the game. I do encourage you to at least check it out.
Until the next time we see you in the grim, sinister darkness of the Echo.
Play on.